Good morning,
Hmm.
everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. I'm solo hosting this morning. Kimberly is on an airplane. She said she tried to hop on if if it works, but I've never tried to Zoom on an airplane. I'm not sure that it works very well. Hi, Lily. Happy to have you back. And Tanitha, I think this might be your first time. Yeah, welcome. I am going to drop our form in the chat. It's just our welcome form. It's one time when you first come, or if you haven't been here in a while. And then we know if you want us to stay in touch about upcoming speakers and etc. and know what you're interested in learning about. Also, everyone is welcome to put their own LinkedIn's in the chat if they would like new connections. And in just 1 minute, we're going to get started. We'll let Rodrigo have the floor. And then once he wraps up, if he's available to stay on, you can ask questions in the chat while we're doing the co-work. Also want to mention next week, our speaker is Amanda Gonzalez, part 2. She came last week and everybody had so many more questions for her. We've brought her on for a second week. And then our speaker on the last week of April is RJ Redden. She is phenomenal. Keep an eye out for the information that I'll put out about her, but make sure you mark your calendar. You're not going to want to miss that speaker. She's phenomenal. So with no further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Rodrigo, and I'll be putting the form in the chat so that the new ladies can fill it out. Take it away.
Thank you, Elena. It's a pleasure to be here. And today we're going to be talking about the lessons I learned while pursuing my LinkedIn Top Voice badge. I, um, I think, I have some very interesting information to share with you today. Just a background about myself. I help innovators to become better managers and deliver better results. If you think about that technical guy who got promoted and has no clue what's doing, that's the type of people I mentor. I help them become better managers so they're more productive. And I worked for some very big companies in the past, and I advise a bunch of people in some other big companies as well. Okay, so my clients are in a very diverse industries. I'm a lifelong learner, many certifications, and an avid language learner as well. But this is not about me. Oh, by the way, my goal is to have 1,000. I want to mentor 1,000 innovators in the next 20 years. That's my big goal. But this is not about me. It's about you guys. So I would like to talk about the Top Voice badge. What are these types of badges? How can you get one? Are they relevant? Can you get more than one? And should you have one? Okay. So not all top voice badges are the same. There are two types. One of them is the yellow one, and the other one is the blue one. Okay, the yellow one relates to those collaborative articles contributions. They are rolled over every 60 days, so they expire. You need to keep answering questions, or else you're going to lose it. And the other type of badge is the blue one, which is, I think it was previously called LinkedIn Influencer. They rebranded it to Top Voice with the blue, and it's invitation only. It's, LinkedIn decides who gets it, and it's way much harder to get it. So today we're going to be talking about the yellow one, okay? So that's the one. So what are the collaborative articles? So they show up in your feed in a special way. So this is very important. It's my first lesson I want to share with you, because when you answer those questions and you contribute, I didn't realize it was the way it was being broadcast across LinkedIn. So that's how they show up, and it's very important when you're answering to take that into consideration, or else people are going to look at it and kind of like be clueless about, well, what is this person talking about? Okay, and the goal, LinkedIn's goal with this is create this AI conversation starters. So they use their AI to generate the questions, and then so people can kind of like answer them and then interact and like them. And so it's basically, conversation starters for LinkedIn. And how do you find them? Okay, it's kind of like a weird thing because there's no direct link in LinkedIn, so you have to kind of like work around. You can Google LinkedIn collaborative articles. There's the home, and there's a list of topics. I would dump the links on the chat, and then keep them handy because sometimes it takes a while to find them. Just gonna take a moment here to drop them inside the chat. Just a second. Okay. And basically, you will find, a place where you have a bunch of questions, and then you will be able to answer them. So this is how, sometimes you're invited to answer them, okay? So these questions, and that's how they show up in your feed, okay? They're not necessarily, they come up, the categories that they, show up, the questions that show up are based on the categories you have on your LinkedIn profile. So if you go on LinkedIn profile, you can set up some categories on things you're good at, and that's how they feed you with questions. So you're gonna get a bunch of questions from many different places. That's another lesson I learned, which is like I was answering different topics, and it kind of like makes your progression a little bit more difficult. So choose wisely the types of questions and the topic that you're going to be answering questions for. So that's how the home looks like. Okay, and then when you look for, you can go to the LinkedIn home, and then you will see it's going to show you all the questions in order for all types of topics, in order of like the most recently created. And so what I would say is choose one question just to see how it looks like. And the structure of a question is basically on the left side, you have the question itself, like what do you do if a software project stakeholders are being difficult? This is the question you need to answer. On the right side is the list of top contributors. It's nice to be on the top of that list. And how you get to the top of the list, it's the number of likes you get. Okay, the more likes you get on the top, for that specific question, the more up you get into the list. So once you have the question, and under the question there's a bunch of prompts, I would say. And then it's kind of like a way to break down the question, and so you can ask some specific element of the AI article. Mind you that this is AI, and sometimes the questions are absolutely crazy. Like don't if they sound weird, they are weird. Like disregard them, go for the next one. Sometimes they don't make sense. Like the way they break it down. Okay. When you click in one of them, you are shown a space where you can share, your thoughts. They encourage you to share your experience, your insights, and also, again, share as if you were outside of this context here, because no one is going to see like this prompt and the explanation that is around it. You'll see your text, the question in your text, and if you want to encourage engagement, you want to make sure that you're mentioning like it's a full-blown text that someone can read and engage. Usually people are using, like I've been seeing, like 400, 350, 400 characters answers. That's the average. So it's a few sentences and you're good to go. Okay. So how you choose your topic, and that's an interesting thing that I went through a few iterations where I was thinking about like 3 or 4 different topics. So I would say usually like be more specific. Why? Because you have less competition. The more answers a topic has, the more competition you have. So if you go, for instance, search engine optimization, there's going to be like hundreds and hundreds of answers and everything. An SEO audit, not as much. Or some try to be a little bit more specific. One of my mistakes was that I choose a very broad, like I choose software project management, which is like insane the amount of questions that people are answering. And it was really hard to get to the top and then kind of like achieve the point where I got my badge, okay? So also look for questions that make sense, like open up the topic and have a look and see if you can answer those questions. And it's something you're going to be enjoying answering because you will need to answer a bunch of them. And, at one point you say like, what's going on? And also choose something that is going to look good at your profile. So everything that you do is going to be reflected on your feed. So be mindful of that, okay? And again, I cannot emphasize, choose one category, one topic, and stick to it, okay? Because that's the fastest way to get to the top, okay? So on this side, you're going to see a bunch of, whenever you are browsing a category, you will see related categories, okay? So LinkedIn wants you to, answer on different similar topics. Don't do that. Just go stick to your topic and go for it. As long once you get your badge, you can kind of like get creative and go for other badges, but stick to just to one topic. And then when you're choosing, if you see like, for instance, the first question has 12 contributors, the second one has 3, but the third one has only 1 contributor, go for it, okay? Try to contribute to this because that's a way for you to rank a little bit higher in the algorithm, okay? When I was doing searching for my topic, I went through the list and I was kind of like looking at topics that would make sense. Then I just did a Google trend and see which topic people were looking for more. I was between, I think it was like thought leadership, mentoring, and software project management. Software project management was way up there, and then I went for it, okay, at the end. So how to get a badge, okay? So the first thing you need to do is to contribute to, 3 times. It's to 1 or more articles. So you go to a question, and then you go there and start your contribution. The thing is, once you start to contribute, you only will see, the results on the next day. Sometimes it's going to be like 3, 4, 5 days until they kind of like reflect your progression, okay? But the starting point is like choose a question in your topic and then answer do 3 collaborations, and then you're in, okay? As you progress, it's going to show you're on the top 14, you're on the top 5%, and so on. And then they tell you, like, typically on the top X% is where your badge shows up, okay? That's how it works. And getting a badge is a question of getting X amount of likes and sometimes interactions, but I don't see many interactions. I see a lot of likes, but not, like people replying and that, have, conversations. I just see likes. So from what I figure out, you need to get between 40 and 50 likes and 15 contributions that are kind of like ranking on the top of your questions, okay? And it would take you like, and another lesson I learned, I got this invitation to join LinkedIn collaborative article 6 months ago. And at that point, if you answer like 3 questions, you got a badge. Nowadays, it takes a lot more, like it takes like 20 to 30 days for, one of these topics that are, there's a high volume of answers, okay? So how much should you contribute? You will have a max of 25 contributions a day. Usually, I leave up to 3 questions in 3 contributions in 1 question. I do this because, you already read the question, you know the subject, you just go in and answer bang, 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 and then you move on to the next one. Because some people say, oh, you should answer in different questions and so on. I think it, just the time you spend like thinking about the context and kind of like trying to figure out the question, it's a little bit time wasted, okay? So wait for a couple of weeks to get some tangible results. It will feel like, nothing's moving and you're answering questions, and then, so it takes a little while. It takes like at least 1 week or 2 weeks to see like you ramping up in the results, okay? And the badge comes from engagement, likes and comments, okay? Especially likes. If you can engage your community and say like, go there and like my contributions, that's gonna help you like get your badge faster. Remember to like your own questions. I think this is a bug on the AI algorithm. If no one likes any questions and you like your own question, you score up there and you stay there, stick to it. Okay, so no one is going to take you off because you're the first one to get the like, and obviously other people will see you, will like the question. And again, like stick to one category. Look for something that look good on your profile, and consider how your answers look up and show up in your feed. Okay. Can you use AI to collaborate? Yes, you can. I don't. I don't use it because I think I can answer these types of questions really quickly. And just the fact that I need to copy it somewhere else, it's going to take me more time to use AI or not. I do have a link for someone who has a chat who has some answers. So hit me on LinkedIn and I can share with you that link. I haven't used it, but they say it's if you enjoy AI, then it's a way of doing it. Okay, but you're not going to be penalized for using it. Okay. Are these badges relevant? My criteria is like if you use LinkedIn as a static resume or something just to show you and be present there, no, it's not relevant to you. But if you use it as, for instance, if you are an agency or if you are like a consultant who is prospecting customers, it is relevant because it's going to show, it's a signal. When someone arrives in my profile and see the badge, bingo, oh, this guy's, he knows what he's talking about. Okay. So I would encourage get into the game. It's like get into the game now, or don't get or don't get into the game because it's gonna, it's getting really crowded I've seen like a lot of people contributing and a lot of noise as well, like questions that don't, people are answering in ways that they don't make sense. Okay. Okay, so can you have more than one? Yes, you can have more than one, but you choose one to show up in your profile. Should you have one badge? I would say yes. That's my recommendation. Okay, and that's it. That's all I have for today. I got my badge, and nowadays I'm on the top 2% uh, contributors. And this is my LinkedIn. I encourage you to, connect. And that's it. I hope I overrun, I think 1 minute, Ilana.
No, you're great. Thank you so much. That was really valuable. If anybody has questions for Rodrigo, feel free to put them in the chat. You can keep the conversation going there, but you guys feel free to unmute just to thank him. I thought that was really valuable. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna jump into.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna jump into our co-work session. What this time is for those that haven't been here before, you can either take all of that great information that Rodrigo just shared and try to apply it to your own LinkedIn, or if you showed up today with a plan of something else you wanted to do, now is the time to do it. If you haven't filled out the forms or joined our LinkedIn groups, please do so. I put the links in the chat, and we will come back at about 10:50 Eastern, so that we can have a chance for us to all just chat for a few minutes about what we worked on today. And we'll go from there. So we'll see you back here in about 30 minutes, and happy LinkedIning. Hopefully everybody got lots done. Would love to hear from anybody that wants to share something that they were able to do during their time.
I have a question.
Okay.
So you're supposed to contribute to 3 articles with this skill. Is that all like on the left side, or there's like 7 questions? Is that the 3 on this side, on the left side?
Hey, Laura, I can kind of like share my screen here and go over it if you don't mind, Ilana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't, if you guys want, we can do it right at the end, but I really want to use this time for what it's meant for.
Okay.
So why don't we hold off on that? But yeah, we can right at the end. Jennifer.
Yeah, I really appreciated what you stated, Rodrigo, because I dove right in. I did find um, an area that was very relevant for me with workplace culture. And so I did do three. I picked one question and I did, answered three of them. So I feel so great. So thank you.
Yay, awesome. Jen?
I did one, and then I scrolled and did some engagement work, and then I read a blog by Michaela Alexis, which I probably should have held that off for later, but it was in there in my news feed, and then I got down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. All right, awesome. Thanks for being here again this week. Stacy?
It got my mind thinking in a LinkedIn fashion on how I can put some of my content into LinkedIn, which is always an interesting thing to do. So yeah, I started writing something that I think is going to be applicable. It could be to business owners or personal, and I'm interested to explore the other options on here more. But it actually, yeah, it inspired me. So thank you.
That's awesome. I'm going to encourage you that once you have that out and published, to repost it or share it into our group with kind of sharing maybe how the group kind of gave you that insight, and encourage us to engage on it for you. But just so that others that might be struggling with that too, I know Jordan Torelli last week, I don't know if you were here last week, but she was saying how that was like a struggle for her too. Trying to cross over her other platforms and that type of content over to LinkedIn. And one thing we talked about last week was reels are starting to be published on LinkedIn, and it doesn't even have to be necessarily professional. And you might see the type of TikToks that you've been seeing, or Instagram reels popping up on LinkedIn, and they're getting good engagement. And Jen and I, as professionals in the industry of managing social media for people, are both cringing hardcore on it, yet we can't stop what's happening. I will say that I have not therefore started doing it for my clients, but I am aware that we are starting to see that. So great. Jamae, you want to share what you got done today?
I appreciated the information. This is my first time, so this is super exciting. I'm not a LinkedIn person, admittedly. So after listening to the presentation, I started putzing around on LinkedIn. So that was what I did today. It was a lot of fun.
I would say this is probably like a more advanced training if you haven't been using LinkedIn. We've been running this group for about 3 months. So we started really basic with like your headline, your profile photo, your cover photo. And we are working on getting those recordings up on our group. So make sure to join the LinkedIn group that we have, and then start to keep an eye out for some of those trainings. I do think our first couple ones are up, but Kimberly and I are just doing this as a labor of love. So we're doing the best we can to keep up with all the administrative that comes with the group, while still running our businesses. So hang tight, but we definitely will be getting this recording up real soon, because this was so fabulous, Rodrigo, and we want you to be able to use it for however you want to use it as well.
It was mind blowing. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this? But
I know, I feel the same way, and I'm in the business.
What?
I'm like, my engagement manager needs to watch this recording and start doing this for my clients. Okay, and let's see. Lily, you want to share what you got done today? Sure, if you're still there.
Yes. So since I just got back from Cuba, I had a lot of messages on LinkedIn, so I answered those or deleted some of them. I did try to answer some questions. I found them, but I am not able to contribute. It says that you need to be invited to contribute. And I guess I wasn't invited, so I have to figure out how to get on that perk. And I tried to use the verification option through Clear, and it did not let me. So I have to figure that out. So I got a lot of that on LinkedIn today.
Okay, good.
Thank you for inspiring me.
Yeah, we're so glad that you came. I hope you enjoyed Cuba, and please make sure to fill out the form so that you can start getting the emails if you'd like.
I did.
Awesome. Okay. And Laura, were you able to work through any of the stuff that we went through today?
Yeah, I posted one comment,
Awesome.
but I didn't understand if I'm supposed to post from that same group of stuff or go to a different question.
Okay, well, since we have 5 minutes left, I'm gonna say goodbye to anybody that needs to hop off, but if you want to stay on to get further clarification from the questions that Laura has with Rodrigo, I'll keep the meeting going. You guys can ask those questions and we'll go from there. Bye. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you. Okay, very quickly. I don't want to hold everybody's time. Okay, so there are a few ways you can get to questions. Laura, what type of
I did
topic?
graphic design.
Graphic design. So you can go here and do graphic design.
Mhm.
Okay, and then it's going to suggest a few questions for you too. I'm a slow typer. Okay, you guys can follow me here, right? Jobs, people, services, people asked. So you can go to one of, oops, you can go to one of the questions, and then you land into the questions here. Okay, so this is your question right here. Okay, you can see more questions about graphic design. Just go to the topic, and it's going to show you a bunch of questions. Okay, some
so
of them have like 10 contributions. Choose one that is like 0, 1 contribution.
Okay, so just within graphic design, just choose 3.
Oh, just choose one question, and then you can go and answer, because there's the question, for instance, this question here, and then there's a bunch of subtopics. I usually do 3 on those. I choose 3
Oh,
of them.
3 of those. Okay, that's what
that's
what I wasn't sure about.
And then I choose 3 of those, and then I choose the ones that have no, no one has contributed, because that way I will rank on the top. Okay, and it's a bug there, but you will if you start ranking on the top, you will stay on the top, and that.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like, well, how does that show up to other people? Because it's just kind of random.
Yeah, it's kind of random. It's a little bit like. Let me see if I have an example. My notes here I can pull off. Just give me a second. I think this guy has a bunch of contributions. And I can show you also when you have more than one, this guy is a top payment service voice. He has like 3 different types of, you can choose one of them. He's like has 3 badges, and you chose one. And then if you go down and you see your activity, these questions will show up on the comments, okay? So if you go to all comments and all activity comments, oops. Oh, sorry, clicked on the wrong place here, go back. Okay, comments. And
you did put a picture in there.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's just another activity. I'm just looking for his. Here it is. Here's a typical answer. So there's 36 answers. This is how he answered that question. And then I know people can like and comment, but no one comments. Everybody just likes, And I was looking at other people's strategy. Like this guy does a bunch of them in a go. Like, see how many? He does a bunch of them. He keeps doing and doing. And it probably takes 1 hour and answers a bunch of them. That's why I said, like, you need to be cautious about what topic you're in, or else it becomes like, it's a lot of answers. And if you don't like the questions, you're not going to enjoy it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go to graphic design, you can also see other types of, categories. Choose one category, one topic, one category, and go for it. LinkedIn is going to suggest you a bunch of them. Okay. Don't go just at first, just go for one. I did this mistake at the beginning. I was answering several of them. It's just not good. And then from here, you can see all topics as well and choose one. Okay?
That's where I went. I went to that.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see there's a bunch of them. You can see which one you want to see besides your name. Okay. But let's say STEM has very little, traction, so they don't have many questions, like SMS, for instance. There's almost no one is doing this one. Okay, so you can get a badge late. this, super fast. Okay.
Okay,
There was a question about get invited. Verify yourself and you will be able to get access to this, I think. I think why you're not getting access to the contributions. You need to be verified. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, really? So to be able to be a contributor, you have to be verified? Is
I
that-
think so. Yeah, because the moment I got verified, I got an invitation from LinkedIn, and this was like 6 months ago.
Oh,
So
I'm
you
not
have to go
verified.
and you get access. I know, for me it was I don't know how, it was almost like when I
Huh.
did the verification, the next step was, the next day I got the invitation to join
Huh.
the
Okay.
topics. Yeah, but I do some Googling and, people will have
Okay.
the answer for that.
They let me comment and I wasn't verified. I was about to, and then I didn't have time, and then I stopped.
Mhm.
All right, I
Awesome.
gotta
Well,
jump
thank you guys
off.
all so much. We appreciate you being here today, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks,
Thank
Rodrigo.
you. Thank you,
Bye.
folks. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.